So I've been working on the cabling and the hoses and trying to sort out pretty much what I think needs to be done for them. For the arm, or the upper arm, I've come up with one that goes like that. Obviously there'll be two of these, one for each arm. That's a double sort of setup. And we're going to be drilling holes in here to accommodate the actual hydraulic sort of connections. There's already two of those, but obviously there's only one. You can sort of see, I'm pretty pleased how these are coming out. I think they actually look quite nice. That will connect down inside the actual piece, down in there somewhere, and then it will actually connect back and double up in here. These need to be bent into the appropriate sort of shape to accommodate the correct sort of mounting position, which is about there. So I've gone and started to have a look at the body setup in terms of how the cabling and all that sort of stuff is going to get connected. That's the one that I was talking about before. You can see there's a little mounting point here for when the cables are going to go, and I'll just show you what I've come up with. It's pretty much a completely unnecessary part in terms of overkill, but I've decided to actually build this to sort of match within the same sort of style and the look of the character. And ironically, it's never going to be seen because it'll actually be tucked in behind the thing. But I didn't like the idea of the cables running to nowhere, so I've basically, created a hydraulic switch box, I guess you'd call it, and sort of set it up in such a way that the cables sort of run into it, and then start to get divided out to where they're supposed to go. So I'll just set that in so you can see what it's going to sort of look like. So that bit will go down in there, like that, and sit fairly low. You can sort of see how it sits in there like that, and then the cables will start to get divided up into where they're supposed to go. So I'll show you what it looks like. Hang on just a second. Okay, so that's it with them set in place a bit better. And just keep in mind, this is just sort of sat in there at the moment, sort of thing, so you get the idea. I'm just going to sit back as well. Once they start getting divided up and running into their proper place, you'll have that one which will go over to where the shoulder mount is. You've got this one which will come up to where where it goes into the head, which is somewhere around there. Okay. And then once that piston is reattached to the head there as well, we've got this bit here, which will have the little control one, this little one that I've created, and that will go onto that pin just there. So that will connect like that. It'll end up having a bit more of a bend in it, probably a bit more like that. But that's basically the idea, and then it will run back down through to where all the connectors go. And we've got another one here that will end up running over to one of these ones. And I'm tossing up whether I'm going to be having a few more of these that will actually run off the actual other pistons that are in there as well. So, as I said, it's a bit of a hodgepodge of cables at the moment sort of thing, but I'm pretty happy with the way that that little mechanism looks. I know it doesn't really exist in terms of if we're being hyper accurate here, but I had to do something with it, and I didn't like the idea of it just having cables going into nothing. So I think that's a pretty good solution. I think it looks the part, looks quite effective. Yeah, so we'll see what we come up with as it progresses. But that's an update for now, guys. Obviously, the other thing is the neck pieces now are all nicely polished, and you can see them put in place. I've got one piston there that's connected and working, so you can see how that sort of works and does the movement thing quite nicely. The head's going to come off. You can see I've got it wrapped up there ready for storage. but I wanted to make sure that everything was sort of working well before I put him away for a little bit. So that's it for now, guys. That's it for that update. Talk to you soon.